What up, YouTube?
For the old man.
Yeah, that's right. Old Man Games channel, Old Man Games here. Welcome and welcome back. This is College Hoops 2K8 custom sliders tutorial. I'm not sure how much of a tutorial this is gonna be, but I'm putting it under the tutorial playlist so that it's all in one place and I have a quick point of reference for something like this. At some point earlier in the season that we have on the channel with head coach Corey Felton, I showed the sliders, but I can't always remember at what point that is. Also, right here, I want to give a shout out to two of the viewers. This actually came up in two conversations, so boom, let me bust this on the screen. Shout out to the homie Dwayne Leadoff 06, as well as the homie Chico Rico 365 Gaming 5. I don't know, Chico, tell me, is that supposed to be gamings? Is that 5 supposed to be a S, or is that really a 5? But anyway, yo, shout out to these two on back-to-back days. So you don't see it here, but in this conversation with the Wayne Leadoff, that actually led to a conversation on sliders. And he mentioned that he found the sliders in one of the episodes. And then also the very next day, Chico Rico hit me up asking about sliders. I'm like, damn, the universe is telling me something. So here we are. We're gonna make this video on sliders. I'm gonna make it as briefly as I can. We got 3 sections to cover in this breakdown. They are going to be number 1, gameplay, the gameplay sliders. 2 are going to be rules, the rules sliders. And then number 3 for the tutorial, we're going to get into the actual game sliders. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. First up, gameplay sliders. All right, so I think all of these together are really important. One of the things that came up in the conversation with the Wayne Leadoff, which led to sliders, was he was asking, I have a hard time saying that word, but he was asking me how I'm able to keep the score so low in the CPU versus CPU. Oh, also, I'm speaking to you guys as if you're already familiar with the channel. For those of you who are new, this channel is hyper focused on CPU versus CPU. That's all we do here, okay? This is the home of CPU versus CPU. So when I'm speaking of sliders, I'm speaking of CPU versus CPU sliders specifically. I'm sure you can try this on human versus human, or even human versus CPU, and it'll have whatever the results may be. I'm not sure, because I used to play this game way back when it came out, human versus human and even human versus computer, but at a certain point in my video game playing career, I completely made the switch to computer versus computer, and this is long before I even brought the channel to you. But anyway, let me stay focused, y'all. So here is what we play on. It's simulation mode. I think the other mode is arcade. Oh damn, I didn't mean to do that. Yep, arcade. As you see, we play on MOP mode. When you flip to arcade, it changes some things here. Damn, it changes a lot. You know what? I'm gonna have to restart this whole thing because it just messed up my whole sliders. Hold up. All right, y'all, so that's a blunder. We're gonna keep it in. I'm not even gonna cut it out, other than a little slight editing that I did to get back to this page. So anyway, we play on simulation mode. Difficulty is MOP. Half links, we play the full 20 minutes. Same with the simulation half links, even though we no longer simulate. For those of you who don't follow the series that we have on the channel with head coach Corey Felton, what we did was the first 4 seasons, I completely did a fast simulation through those seasons so that he could flip the roster, and then from there I started to show each game. But yeah, so we no longer do simulated games, but when we did, it was the full 20 minutes. Game speed. Now I think this is important. So the Wayne Leadoff 06, if you're watching this I think is what actually helps lead to the lower scoring games. This, and then some of the sliders we'll get into when we get to game sliders. But game speed is set to 55, and if you notice, player speed is set to 10. I've had someone in the past even like complain and say like this game that I show is too slow, which is why I also suggest that when you watch the playback, watch it at a higher speed, you know, if you want to see more fluid movement. But I play with the players at a slower speed so that they don't, you know, it doesn't go overboard. So I think these two things contribute significantly to the lower scoring games, even though sometimes we do have games where we've hit, you know, 80 and 90 depending on our team and who we're playing. But yeah. And then free throw difficulty we have set to 88. Player lock, this is off. I mean, it's computer versus computer, so it doesn't matter. When I used to play the actual game, sometimes I would do like a makeshift kind of like a road to glory type of thing, where I would recruit a player onto a team and then just play as that one player throughout his whole career. But that was like way back in the day. I don't know. Damn, now I'm thinking about that. That's something I could bring to this, but we'll see. I like more of the idea of building a team than just focusing on one player, but we'll see. Anyway, so player lock is off. Real player free throw percentage is set to on. Fatigue is on, and injuries are also on. Team unity is on. Sixth man is on. Clutch factor is on. Pass icon is on. Defensive player icon is on. And then inbound defensive switch is on. All right, so just as a recap, these are our gameplay sliders. Boom, there you have it. Basically everything is on. The big thing is just the numbers here: 55, 10, 88, 20-minute halves both ways, MOP simulation. That's it. All right, next up we'll get into rules. So yeah, this will be pretty brief. For rules, we have everything on, right? One-on-one free throw bonus is set to 7 fouls. Double free throw bonus is set to 10 fouls. Foul out is 5. I think these are all standard rules, or at least that they were at the time. Charging foul I have set to 90. This is where we get into sliders though. Charging foul I have set to 90. Blocking foul I have set to 85. Reaching foul I have set to 69. Shooting foul I also have set to 69. And then loose ball foul I have fully set to the max at 100. All right, boom. Now we already at the final section. Like I said, this is gonna be a real quick one. For the sliders, we're gonna go through. There's gonna be several screens here. Both my user and computer sliders, as you see, I'm toggling between the two. They're both set to the same thing. All right. So these are our shooting sliders. We have inside range success, mid-range success, and 3-point range success all set to 46. Dunk success is at 60. Layup success is at 50. Close shot tendency is 13. Mid-range shot tendency is 18. 3-point shot tendency is 32. And then drive tendency is 64. But then remember also too, in addition to this, there's also individual player tendencies that go into play here as well. All right. And then next up, we have attributes. Again, computer versus user. On every single screen, I have them set to the same exact thing. Offensive awareness. This goes back to the homie, the Wayne leadoff 06, when he asked, which even though I didn't show, but I'm saying that conversation led to the question of him asking how I keep the score so low. This is another part of it. In addition to the low game and player speed, I also have offensive awareness set to 67 and defensive awareness set to 75. So that plays a role in it, in keeping, you know, relatively lower scores. Like I said, sometimes we can score higher, but for the most part, we score between like in the 50s and 70s in the games that we play. I would say on average. Dunks we have set to 100. Ball handling is set to 30. Offensive rebounding is set to 100. Defensive rebounding is set to 0. Blocking is set to 99. Steals are set to 100, and then speed here is set to 85. So that kind of like is to juxtapose just a tad bit the speed that we have set in the gameplay options. All right, and then boom, we have gameplay settings here as well. And again, user and computer, all the same. We have team unity effects, which I think this is something we turned on the other screen, which I think if you have it off on the other screen, it may not apply here, whatever you set. But anyway, team unity effect we have set to 50. Dunks in traffic all the way set at the max at 100. Screen success we have set at 57. Screen strength, however you want to pronounce it, screen strength we have set at 100. Still success is set at 100. Help defense, we set this at 15. And then help recovery is set at 90. All right, so those are the gameplay sliders. And then we have fitness sliders here. Again, I'm just showing user and computer are all the same. Energy fatigue rate we have set to 55. Energy recovery rate is set to 63. Injury frequency rate we have set at 85, and then the injury effect is set to 25. All right, and then we're back to shooting. So yeah, those are our sliders. That's pretty much it, y'all. Like I said, I was gonna keep this short and sweet, just to get into what the sliders are for the games that we play with head coach Corey Felton, who currently is the head coach for the Texas Southern Tigers. Yeah. So, all right. Until the next time, you know who it is.
For the old man.
Yeah, that's right. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a comment down below. Let me know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for checking this out. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one, y'all. Until then, peace.